Hey guys, this is Commander Revan. I'm an officer of an alliance called the Bantha Galaxy, and I was originally making this video purely for them, but I'm posting it here on YouTube. I'm going to be covering this farming guide that I've put together that our guild should be following, and that's just overall better for the best in the game right now. First, we're going to be starting off with Imp Troopers, or Imperial Troopers. This is the best squad you can get early in this entire game right now. There is potential for there to be something else beforehand, like Phoenix, but I will talk about them later. This will be your bread and butter through most of the game. It is one of the best non-legendary squads possible, and that's mainly because of Piet, Veers, Dark Trooper. These two are also extremely well, but these three are what makes the team run. Starting off at Veers, this is basic. It'll give you speed up to someone who doesn't have it. Real nice. You will find him on 4C hard, light side 4C hard, and I wouldn't recommend buying anyone from any of these packs, FYI. You also will get a few shards of him whenever this assault battle comes around, but you usually need some other stuff, so you might have some problems. But this is gonna be one of the first guys you get, since he's on a really easy to get to node, especially with when you get an ally, which you should. Pretty much any Discord, there will be a tab where you can look for allies. For example, I should have a few spots open myself, and I'll put that ally code below. But that's something you're gonna want to add because it'll get you through a lot of battles. Next is his first special. It'll call everyone to assist. I kind of hate that that's around, but yeah, it'll call everyone to assist. It'll inflict ability block, and it'll do more damage on rebels. So it's very nice, especially when you get to see the basics of other people. This is the main thing you want him for, though. Is his leader ability. Empire allies get 20 speed, 10% turn meter whenever they gain a buff. That's the main part. 30% offense is also pretty nice. The main part is this 20 speed and 10% turn meter whenever they gain a buff. It does not seem like a lot, but this will do a ton. You will get a lot of turns. Next up is his unique. Whenever enemy is defeated while he's active, they gain offense up, which is a buff, so all allies get 10% turn meter. They gain another 50% turn meter, and they recover 10 protection. And then while Veers is active, all Imperial Trooper allies have 50% crit chance, which is pretty nice. But yeah, this is on his Zeta. This is a pretty decent Zeta. I'd probably get it. If well, yeah, I would get this as one of your earlier Zetas out of the bunch. So that was General Veers. Next we have Admiral Piet. This is probably the best tune on Imperial Troopers, and that's why he's Relic 8. He's the leader or the captain of the Executor. Really strong ship. My mods are pretty whack because I have not built my Imperial Troopers yet, so I don't really use them that well. But he is one of the best. His basic: deal physical damage and call someone else to another Empire ally to assist. Allies with inevitable failure are called to assist. I'm pretty sure it will just call whoever has inevitable failure, and then it'll do random if nobody does, but I might be wrong. It might be both. but this is really strong because you can get a bunch of assists. Because this will proc off of anybody else who calls him to assist. So this Veers, whenever he does his A2 and Piet basics, this will proc. So you'll get another assist, which is really nice. His special. This is a really good Zeta. The special. All allies gain offense up. Another bonus, another buff with Veers. That's another 10% turn meter. Piet gains stealth. That's more turn meter. Let me check. Yep, that's another 10% turn meter on Piers himself. So just by using his this special, Piet himself is gaining 20% turn meter, which is already like awesome. You inflict marked for 2 turns and 3 stacks of inevitable failure on target other Empire ally until end of battle or that ally is defeated, and remove inevitable failure from all other allies. These debuffs can't be copied, dispelled, or resisted. So the mark is basically like a forced taunt, and it kind of sucks with this team, but it's otherwise this would be super broken. But yeah, you're really just going to be marking one guy, who I will get to after. Well, Dark Trooper. You'll be really just doing Dark Trooper with this, as you really just want him assisting off of Piet basic. But this is the inevitable failure debuff technically. You gain 1 stack when using an ability or receiving damage from an enemy. When defeated, grant Admiral Piet the following bonuses based on the defeated unit stat until the end of battle. So this is just when he applies his second special onto, or not a second, his first special onto someone, they will gain 1 stack, I believe. No, 3 stacks of inevitable failure, which is this. And then this will stack all the way up to 20 whenever you use an ability or receive damage from someone. And then when that whoever is holding inevitable failure as their debuff, when they're defeated, they will get Piet some of these bonuses. And these do stack technically. So if you get all the way down to here, well, no, they don't stack. That's my bad. You will get 1 based on whatever the closest one of these is. So if you just had that 1 stack, if you were just at that 3 and then somebody immediately died, you would only get 5% max health. If you were to have them at 10, you get the 20% max health and protection. 15, 50% max health, protection, and offense. But you really don't want anyone dying, but you would prefer if it's at 20 stacks at 100% max health, max protection, 300% offense, and 25% speed. Speed's really nice because this is one of the fastest characters in the game, so you can get some pretty gnarly speeds. His third special, dispel all buffs on light side enemies, deal physical damage to all enemies, and inflict daze for 2 turns. And then allies with inevitable failure, that special, will gain 2 stacks. If it defeats an enemy, inflict fear on all enemies for 1 turn, and allies with inevitable failure gain 5 stacks. This fear can't be copied, dispelled, or resisted. So fear is a debuff, which will basically just make that person, whoever has it, skip their turn whenever it comes to them while they're holding the debuff. So it's really good if you can finish people off with this. Even though this is a turn meter train, this will just like guarantee that like the enemy can't like fight back. Like they just don't get a chance. So this is really nice for a kill. It's also really good for inflicting daze on teams that will naturally counterattack, which makes this really strong. And sometimes it's worth doing this before your first special, your A2, purely for the daze, because like I said, those counterattack teams can chew through Imperial troopers. So getting this daze off first will then like just set you up to be really nice. Daze also stops other people from gaining turn meter, so it can stop them from if they gain turn meter from taking damage or anything like that. They can do that. This leader, while for in the beginning, I'd recommend just leaving it at 1 because you're gonna want the materials. This isn't a terrible leadership ability to have because you can do some gnarly things with Vader. But it's just pretty simple. Empire allies have 30% offense and potency. Light side enemies have minus 30% tenacity and minus 15 speed. And then you just stack up inevitable failure way more, and then you get defense up. So whenever they critically hit someone with an whoever has inevitable failure, they will gain another stack of inevitable failure, which is pretty nice. Unique, I'm pretty sure that's either his 1 Zeta or one of his Zetas. Yeah, it's one of his Zetas. I'm pretty sure this is his other Zeta. I might be wrong. But this is his most important Zeta and the most important Zeta on the team. Admiral Piet has 60% counter chance. Piet gains 5% turn meter whenever another Empire ally takes damage. So this is that counter I was talking about. People who have counter will chew through the Imperial Troopers, so you want to be careful. This kinda sucks because you don't really want your guys taking damage, but it is nice in case like they start before you, or somebody gets a turn in, and it kind of keeps the train rolling just in case something happens. And this is the bread and butter. Whenever an Empire ally begins a turn or attacks out of turn, all Empire allies gain a stack of the Emperor's Trap until the start of the next enemy's turn. Non-Empire allies' turn or the end of battle. The Emperor's Trap can't be copied, dispelled, or prevented. So I might be wrong in this, but I'm pretty sure this counts as a buff for Veers' lead, which is why you get so much turn meter on the team. So this is really nice. I'll get to Emperor's Trap in a second and what it does. And then here's the extra: if Darth Vader is an ally, Darth Vader and Admiral Piet have 20% accuracy, potency, and tenacity. That kind of goes back to the leader. These two can do some funky stuff together, but generally Piet's better with Imp Troopers. But you're getting the Zeta purely for this Emperor's Trap because it's really strong. 6% offense and potency per stack, which sounds not like a lot, but keep in mind, whenever you attack at a turn or begin a turn, you're getting another stack of this on every one, which is so well. This will get like so high up super fast. Like just from Ruthless Assault, it will be getting up, which is insane. It's like this will call 5. That's just the 5. Is that 5? No, it's just 4. But then you also have to keep in mind this Piet will attack. The buffs will give you another chance to attack with Ranged Trooper. Let's see, I'll get to him in a bit, but you get a lot of stacks on stacks with this team, which is really nice. Really, really nice. This is the other. This is Dark Trooper. This is the other strong Imperial Trooper in 3v3. These will be the 3 you want: Veers, Piet, Dark Trooper. 5v5, you'll want these guys. But starting with his first ability, deal physical damage to target enemy once for each stack of Dark Trooper squad. This ability can't critically hit unless he has advantage, which is a buff which basically guarantees you to get a critical hit. His A2, deal physical damage to all enemies if Dark Trooper has 3 or more stacks of Dark Trooper squad. Imperial Remnant allies, which is kind of a useless stack in this team except for him, will gain advantage for 2 turns. Otherwise, Dark Trooper gains 1 stack of Dark Trooper squad. This is really nice. This goes back to the crit. you're gonna want to use this quite a bit because you get the Dark Trooper stack if you're below, and if you're above, you get advantage, which will make this absolutely chunk since it attacks basically 4 times, which is disgusting. Perfect Soldiers, Imperial Allies, or this is a second special. Imperial Troopers allies gain 10% turn meter for each stack of Dark Trooper squad the Dark Trooper has. So potentially 40% turn meter for everyone. This is really nice if you're if you need to start up the turn meter train, like if people are just low turn meter and Dark Trooper has his turn, I'd recommend using this because usually that gets someone else to get another turn, which is super nice. And then if he has 2 or more stacks of Dark Trooper squad as well, he will gain offense up for 2 turns. If he doesn't, he'll just gain it for 1 turn instead. So another buff, which will get some more turn meter towards Dark Trooper, which is really nice. Is unique. This is a really strong unique. I'm pretty sure that is his Zeta. I believe so. Let me check. It should be his Zeta. Sorry, I wasn't necessarily prepared. Nope, his Zeta is this. Still super nice, super worth getting, because it will let you regain that 1 stack of Dark Trooper. But it is not the most important Zeta. The most important Zeta is still this Emperor's Trap, which will be the first Zeta you will want probably on your account, but at least on this Imperial Troopers team. So back to Dark Troopers unique. Dark Trooper has 4 stacks of Dark Trooper squad. 25% of it is his base max health. Or, my bad. Worded that wrong. Dark Trooper has 4 stacks of Dark Trooper squad. 25% of its base max health and max protection is immune to max health and max protection changes and can't be defeated or destroyed while it has more than 1 stack of Dark Trooper squad. So how this works is he has his 4 stacks of Dark Trooper squad, and because of that, he only has 25% of his base max health, but it will get replenished every time he gets to 0, but he will lose a stack. So when his health bar reaches 0 on this team and he still has a stack, he'll just lose 1 stack and keep going. But if he does have only 1 stack, he will be defeated next time. See, yep, the Dark Trooper would be defeated while it has 2 or more. Dispel all debuffs on it, reduce the number of Dark Trooper stacks by 1, and recover 100% health and protection. So this is what I was saying, it has 2. He'll go down to that 1 stack. If he has 1 stack, he'll just die. Dark Trooper has 25 defense for each stack of Dark Trooper squad it currently has. And then Dark Trooper can't be revived, but he also can't be critically hit. So even though in game it looks kind of like he's not that like tanky, he's pretty tanky. Just because whenever somebody would reduce, like if they would one-shot his entire health bar, it doesn't do overflow damage. So they can only at most technically do 25% of his health and protection. They can't do any more than that. So he's pretty tanky. At least 4 hits can be taken by him, or 3. But he is who you're going to want to be marking and putting inevitable failure on, because you will want him to attack out of turn. You will want him to be the one Piet calls. So, another strong Imperial Trooper, Stark. I don't really have my Imperial Troopers geared up. I will be doing a separate video series on gearing them up to show you how easy it is to get most of these guys up. But his A1, deal physical damage, inflict this defense down for 2 turns. If they're already debuffed, he'll do double damage which is pretty nice. His special, Empire allies gain critical chance up and critical damage up for 3 turns. So that's another buff that's being applied to the team. So everyone's getting 20% turn meter whenever he does this. And then Stark gains 5% turn meter for each Empire ally, and each Rebel enemy. So again, this is another turn meter thing. Just by using this, he'll be getting 40% turn meter because of the buffs and this, and he'll already be halfway to getting his next turn. Not including if you're facing rebel enemies, they'll get 65% turn meter just from using this ability on Stark, which is just awesome because then he'll get another turn really soon after. His third special, deal physical damage to all enemies with a 50% chance to stagger them. Dispel all buffs on the primary target for each active Imperial Trooper ally. Deal 10% more damage and reduce the cooldown of this ability by 1. This is really strong. You're dispelling all buffs. You're getting a chance to stagger, which will just remove all their turn meter. Oh, the dispel buffs is only on 1 person, but still, that's really nice. Get taunt off tanks, and then it'll also do more damage for each active Imperial Trooper ally, including himself, because it doesn't say excluding him, and that usually means that it's including him. So this will do 50% more damage, and it'll reduce the cooldown of this ability by 1, which is really nice. It'll reduce the cooldown of this ally or this ability by 1 for each Imperial Trooper ally. So that's like 5. I forgot how much it starts on, but that's super nice. Imperial Intelligence. This is his unique. At the end of his turn, Stark recovers 5% health and 3% protection. And this is the really strong part on why you take Stark. So this is another Zeta. Probably the second Zeta you'd want to apply on this team. You're going to be removing 1% turn meter for all enemies for each active Imperial or Empire ally each active Empire ally doubled for Imperial Trooper allies. So this is at the end of his turn, he's removing 10% turn meter from everyone, for every enemy. That's disgusting, as you'll see, because like just from using his A2, he's about to get another turn again, so that's almost 20% turn meter just by using one ability. And then while he's active, Imperial Trooper allies also have 50 armor pen, which is super nice. Just give you that little bit more damage. Super strong Imperial Trooper. Again, he's also used on other Imperial Trooper team, which I'll get to in a bit. This ranged trooper, he's the 5th. He's also really strong, and he's also pretty easy to get. Oh yeah, I forgot where you get these people. Piet, you will get him 6B hard, light side again. Pretty easy node again. I think it's level 60 about to get the 6 nodes. Make sure you get allies, and this will be 3-star, no problem at all. You also get a few from galactic challenges if you're still needing shards from that, and you can do that, I guess. Dark Trooper, you can start farming him super early at 1C. So you should be getting him first. He will most likely be the first one done. Either him or Stark, which I will show you in a second. But you get him super fast, some good gear too. You can use that for stuff. Stark, you can get him in the guild store. So if you're doing even pit, most likely you really do want to start joining a guild as soon as possible. Preferably one that is at least doing heroic pit. You can most likely find someone or one that is doing tank, the tank takedown. But even if you're just doing pit, you will get a heroic Sith, or not Sith, my bad, heroic pit, you will still be getting 1,700 of this Mark 1 currency, which will be what? So even if you're spending only 1,000 of it on Stark, that's 50 shards a run, and generally guilds can get that to like 3-4 days. So every 3-4 days you're getting 50 shards of Stark, potentially more, which you really probably should focus on with this Mark 1. Focus on getting Stark down quick, so you can potentially get like 70 just from Sith, which is really nice. Either him or Dark Trooper will be your first 7-star in this farm path, which is super nice. You also get them from these tokens, but those tokens will most likely be phased out just because they're kind of just the Mark 1 currency. Anyways, Range Trooper, you can get him 3A hard Dark Side. Another super easy node. All of these nodes are super obtainable. No one in this team is that hard to get. All of these guys are able to unlock before level 70, really before level 65, which is really nice. And again, make sure you get allies, because you can just solo through. Like here, I'll show you. This will simulate having an ally, a strong ally, but if you go through this, or look here, look, Revan, got the Revan. I got strong dark side, but scroll down here. Even if, let's just say, let's see the Empire. Let's do some super simple teams that they'll give you off. No, we'll just do this. We'll just do these guys. Yeah. We'll just say you got Dark Trooper. Let's say you got him. Let's say you got Stark. Yeah. Let's say, let's see. I think you get Royal Guard to begin with now. That should be more than enough. Let's just take Royal Guard, just so you get like an example. You can really do these as long as you have an ally. You just need to have your guys tanky enough to where they just don't die. So let's say he's level 53. Let's see who else in here. I don't remember who you get when starting the game. I might want to start a new account for this free-to-play stuff, just so you guys can see it's not impossible. This stuff, it just takes patience. But let's just say these three. No leader ability with these guys. This is really just going to be completely on the ally, which you'll see is like super easy. See, these guys are super basic. They have literally no health bar. And look, he just one-shots them. He just one-shots them. Look, Dark Trooper, even at low gear, just one-shot him, man. And even if you didn't have Dark Trooper, this would be super easy. Just take however high you can, whoever you have for Dark Side, or however high you need to, just to get this, because this is easy. Like, see, even this Veer's no gear on him, basically almost one-shot that entire wave. Look, see, not Dark Trooper, the Revan's so fast, he's just like looping around these guys. And there's a bunch of other really good allies you can get. There's Palpatine. He's really nice. You want to look for the relic allies. Mine's not really full of that strong allies, just because my account is, I don't really need these guys, so I'm like leasing out to these weaker accounts. As you can see, a bunch of Imperial Troopers. I think you get Crew, Kylo Ren Mask. You can use him early, but yeah, you just need to take your dark side guys up to however strong they need to be for that. I'll go through. I won't do P yet. You get the idea. Light side, there's General Anakin Skywalker allies, Jedi Knight Luke. Any of the Galactic Legends are amazing allies to get, but that's just an example, you know. So all these guys are super easy to get. They're Range Troopers basic, kind of alluded to what his kit does, but it'll do 30% more damage if he's buffed. Kind of meh, don't really care about his basic. This, you will basically just be spamming. All Empire allies gain protection up 40%. Protection up is based on max health, just so you know, as a buff. So you might want to focus on health, but you can also focus on protection with these guys. They don't really like being hit anyways, so it doesn't really matter. All Imperial Trooper allies recover 30% protection and then gain retribution for 3 turns. Again, another buff. Both of these are buff. Protection up's a buff and retribution is a buff, so just this, another 20% turn meter. And then you'll get another ally to attack at a turn, and then he'll also assist them. So this can get pretty crazy because with his unique, really just tenacity. So this can be, if you really need it to be, this can be level 1 unique. You don't have to put any materials on this, like at all. But 10% tenacity while he is buffed. And this is the main part you want. While ranged trooper is active, Imperial allies have a 50% chance to call another buffed, keyword buffed, Imperial trooper ally to assist when they use an ability during their turn, doing 20% less damage. So this can get absolutely insane, because let's say he uses his ability, he can get 3 people, including himself, to attack at a turn, which is crazy. Veers, he uses this, he gets someone to attack with him, it's crazy. The mass assist, you can get another person to attack with him, and what you're really hoping for is to get either Dark Trooper to assist, or to get Piet to assist, who will then call Dark Trooper to assist. That's kind of like how you want to play. That's kind of like how you want things to go. That's kind of how this team works. But that's how that's Imperial Troopers. Again, one of the best non-legendary teams in the game, and the easiest team, in my opinion, really to get early. So that's covering the Imperial Trooper segment. I'm splitting this video up into a whole bunch of segments, as you see, and yeah. Alright, getting back into it, I'm not going to break down the abilities for everyone like I did with Imp Troopers, just because this video would then be forever, basically like 10 hours long or something. But I'm gonna explain things still. So the reason you're getting Imperial Troopers is for R2-D2 to get this Rebels team. He requires 5 Empire. Alright. Requires 5 Empire, right? You got your Piet, you got your Ranged Trooper, Veers, Dark Trooper, Stark. So you can use all these guys, you can use them to get R2-D2, which will then lead you into this Commander Luke Skywalker requirement team, which is kind of who this guide is going to be mainly focused on. I will expand a little bit further than that, but the game's in a very unpredictable place right now. There's about to be a new galactic legend, and some things could change. This Imperial Troopers may not be the best in a couple of maybe months, most likely a year. This will most likely hold up for at least a year, this guide, so that's at least nice. But you're gonna get R2-D2 to get the CLS team. I don't know what that was. You got Obi-Wan. You will find him at 1C, and you'll also get him in a guild store, or Cantina Battle 1C, and then guild store. So Cantina battles, you can use anyone, dark side or light side. So he'll probably be another one, someone you can get really quickly. Keep in mind, you will want to be farming the CLS requirements for like the cantina and like the shops at the same time as, like, these kind of go hand in hand, but this team is going to be used to get R2D2, which is like, this team, most of these guys kind of suck. R2D2 sadly isn't that usable anywhere besides in kind of off meta droid team, which really isn't even that good compared to everything else. He may be getting buffed soon. At the time of this video, he is not. So Stormtrooper Han is a pretty good tank, especially with someone I will be talking about later. Princess Leia will be a requirement for the new GL, so that's why I think this should hold up. R2D2 hopefully will be a requirement. So yeah, Luke Skywalker also kind of sucks. No real use for him. This is the farm boy one with his gun, and then Old Ben is actually a pretty decent tank through most of the game, just because this is passive. I mean, just heals people and stuff. So you'll get Luke at Cantina Battle 1B again. I don't know why you would farm him this late, but you can also get him at 7D and the guild store. You're most likely going to star him out before you ever get to 7D just from the Cantina battles and the guild store. R2D2 is the journey, which you'll get with the Imperial Troopers, so make sure you focus on them. Stormtrooper Han, you'll get in Cantina Battle store, so he will most likely want to be your first your first guy to get in this Cantina Battle store, really. And then you can also get him again, Cantina Battles 2A. So that's why these guys fit in really nicely with the Imperial Troopers, because they don't really have much similarities. Most of these guys are on Cantina Battles or in the store, which goes by super quickly. Leia, Squad Arena store, again, first person you will probably want to be focusing on in the Squad Arena store. And you can also get her in 1C with Zori Bliss, which is also a super good character, but not important to this farm. So that is your Commander Luke Skywalker requirements. Just super nice. That will lead you into the big guy himself. He is super strong. I'll cover his full team and their abilities in another video, but that will get you to him. So to get the rest of his squad, Han Solo, you should honestly, by the time you get to Commander Luke Skywalker, you should have him unlocked, honestly, just because if you're doing the pit, you'll be getting shards of him. And then also, if you still don't have him 7 stars by the time you finish with all those other guys, you can still 7-star up through here with your guild store currency, which is super nice. He's, again, this team is one of the best teams in the game still. They're old, but they're like forever useful. They just don't die in the game, so always worth picking them up. I'm going to be picking them up myself and relicking them very soon, hopefully. So yeah, Chewbacca and C-3PO, like R2D2, they are used for they're in the journey guide, so these two will probably be the longest farm out of everyone for the CLS squad, and I'll cover their people used to get them in a second. You got 3PO and Chewie, another super nice character. You can get him 7A light side hard, so you probably won't be getting Chewie until quite a bit later, but you will want to start farming him as soon as you pick him up. Again, use your allies and just whoever your light side strongest that would fit in this guide that you just have, just farm him as you get him, you know, and just use whoever, just use a strong ally. Anyways, to get to the journey guide for these people, You got Chewbacca. We're gonna start with him. You do not need full relic teams for Chewbacca. They do need to be geared quite a bit, substantially. I think around gear 9, gear 11, around there for Chewbacca is pretty safe. But these are two like splits in the path for this farming guide. One is if you are going for Executor, which is a really strong ship at the filming of this video. I would recommend these bounty hunters, as these are the bounty hunters you will need for Executor anyways. They will require a little bit more gear than this bottom team, which is just like best overall. This will just be really nice overall. So yeah, again, honestly, you could probably take like one of these instead of Fennec Shan, because for Executor you will want these two anyways unlocked at 7 stars for Beskar Armor Mandalorian anyways. So yeah, really either one of these would be fine. This would be a little bit easier, less gear heavy, but this is be just as fine, work just as well too. That would be for Chewbacca. For C-3PO, you're gonna want Ewoks. Again, at the timing of this video, this is the best Ewoks that we have right now. There will be a new Ewok lifter unit coming out soon, Princess Kanisa. I assume, this is just on my speculation, she will either be replacing Papalu, or she'll be replacing Chief Chirpa as the leader. In which case, these three, Logray, Ewok Elder, Wicket, are still fairly safe to build. Ewok Elder being the safest, since he's the best right now anyways. He will most likely be in the new Ewok team anyways, so yeah. This was hellish for me. You do need the Zeta for Chief Chirpa, otherwise everyone here needs to be gear 12. This is way harder than this Chewbacca event. Again, honestly, you could probably beat it, or you can beat it at my gear levels, but to like keep your sanity, I'd recommend getting everyone to gear 11 at least. Otherwise, like I said, it took me like all day for these guys. So yeah, I just recommend taking them to gear 11. It's not worth your time. And that would be your CLS squad. And like I said, CLS, great team. And he leads into a lot. And he can do a lot. So what he leads into is Jedi Knight Luke, which is a super strong character. I'll show you. As you guys remember, Jedi Knight Luke, episode 6, Return of the Jedi. Super strong Jedi leader. He shreds health, a whole bunch of stuff. Super nice. As you can see, journey guide, we'll go over through Chewbacca. See the bounty hunters. See them right there. And then C-3PO. You got the Ewoks. See them right there. So, Jedi Knight Luke will be extremely intensive for farming, as one can expect, since he's so good. For the rebels that you will need for him, you will need Rebel Officer Leia Organa. You can get her in the guild store with these Mark II currency if your guild is doing Heroic Sith Raid or higher. Heroic Sith Raid would most likely be what you're getting it from. There may also be the tank raid. I don't remember. I think the tank raid is just Mark 1 though, so I doubt it. You'll probably get her through the guild store. You got Captain Han Solo. You can be farming him in Cantina battles, 7D. Again, light side or dark side. Take your strongest, get an ally, go through. Lando Calrissian, Cantina battle 1E. You can get him super early. I think the game may even give some shards of him to you. You got Wedge. You can get Wedge in Fleet Store, and then you can also get him in Canteen battles. But you can probably pick up Wedge fairly early in the Fleet Store. More Jedi Knight Luke requirements will be Darth Vader. Darth Vader you will get through achievements. He's not here now, but he will also show up in the Fleet Store. And yeah, the game kind of gives you Darth Vader, so you don't have to worry too hard about it. Another really strong character who I would also recommend just building up anyways. But you will want to take him to Relic 3 for this, which is pretty safe space. So make sure you get Vader. You got Wampa. Wampa's super strong. Honestly, stronger than Vader right now, just because of an Omicron he has, which you won't get too early, but he's probably your first Omicron you'll want to apply. Again, you'll get him in the Guild store and the Guild event store. Super nice character to get. And then also Hermit Yoda. Same thing. Not as strong as Wampa, but also super strong right now for Jedi. Again, you'll get him in the exact same place. Guild store, Guild event store with Mark II currency. So, oh, you get that Guild event tokens, in the Guild event store from some PvE events with your guild. So that would be territory wars and territory battles. You'll get it from them, and it'll take a while to get enough of that currency, but it's a good thing that you get them from Mark II, which honestly makes them like, I believe, a 4-month farm each, potentially 3. It's super nice, really nice of CG to do that. But yeah, that's your Jedi Knight Luke character requirements. He does, however, require some ships. He will require the Millennium Falcon and Wedge's ship, which is why you need Wedge. So for the Millennium Falcon, or my bad, just getting on to fleets in general, this is probably one of the strongest early game fleets you can get. I recommend these 3 bounty hunters, 4 Millennium Falcons, since you need 4 bounty hunters to get Millennium Falcon, and as you can see here, you have 4 bounty hunter ships. Houndstooth is super good. These guys are also part of the Chewbacca farm, so that's another reason why I recommended them. They're also pilots, so technically you could also put Vader ship here, Imperial TIE fighter ship, TIE bomber, a lot of dark side ships, TIE Defender. Any dark side ship would really be nice here, but I recommend these 4 just for Millennium Falcon. And then Wedge's ship you get from I'll go over where you can find everyone. Wedge's ship you get from Fleet Store, and I believe you can get it from Galactic War Store, but I don't know exactly. I can't remember. Houndstooth, or we'll start at Sunfac. Sunfac you can get through the Fleet Store. Don't get him with this Guild event store, not worth it. Get the other guys, or even rather gear. But you can get him Fleet Battles 2A, a pretty hard node, but sadly you can't get allies with fleets, so you're probably going to pick Sunfac's ship up from the Fleet Store and the Galactic War Store. Here, Geo Soldier Starfighter, again 9D, a little bit harder than the other ones. You might still be able to pick him up by the time he gets 9D from here, but he's also in the Fleet Store, super nice. Houndstooth, 8D, again hard, but as soon as you unlock this node, I recommend instantly farming him up. Spy, Fleet Store, Galactic War Store as well. That's where all these Geo guys are. They're all really strong. Their ships, at least, are there. IG 2000, 6E, and yeah, I think you guys, you can see where all these stuff are. But it's generally most of these ships, as soon as you can start getting them, I recommend instantly farming them, because They are not accelerated drops on their nodes, so they will take about twice as long as characters to get. This will also help you in getting Zeta materials, which is for abilities and all that, which they unlock extra stuff, which is super nice. And like I said, these 4 bounty hunters into Millennium Falcon, super nice. Wedge is in Galactic War Store and Fleet Store himself, which is also super nice. So, expanding from there, that's everything for Jedi Knight Luke that you need. And like I said, we'll cover your characters in that our little farm. But expanding on ships, I recommend the next thing to go for would be Chimera, by getting the Phoenix squad and their ships. And you really technically only need, for the Chimera, Thrawn's ship, you really only need 3, but you really only need 3 rebels, including these 2 Phoenix. But I just included these 2 because this is a nice extra fleet you can place on defense or offense in Grand Arena. So that's nice. And then speaking of Chimera, once you unlock Chimera and 7-star it, these are the units you will want. I don't remember the order that they go in terms of who is reinforcements and all that. I do know you 100% want TIE Defender and TIE Interceptor as reinforcements, but I don't really remember the rest. This is what I can only assume, but this is a really good. This team is better than this, so as soon as you get this stuff, specifically cut off here, the shuttle, TIE Defender, fighter, advanced TIE fighter, and bomber, I'd recommend swapping. And you can take Houndstooth as well. Like, you can take Houndstooth and put him in the lead because he's a super good tank. You can put spy, soldier. You can fill in some of this stuff if you don't have. Really, you just want these 4. These 4 are the main people. Shuttle's really nice too. These 2 are super later, just because this you can only really get right now at 4 million GP. They might change that. It might go in the Fleet Store. We don't know. The characters to unlock for are kind of iffy. So, yeah, for the Reaper, I believe it's called. Yep. But yeah, you really want these 4. You can take some of this. This is the better team. This is the better fleet over this. And then leading into, as I was talking about, Executor, one of the best ships in the game right now. You can see our man Piet, the pilot, right? Our boy, our imp trooper. You got your Houndstooth, your bounty hunter ships, Beskar, the Razor Crest, Beskar Armor Mandalorians ship, which I will talk about in a second here. TIE Fighter, these guys, the TIE Fighter trio, and your bounty hunter ships, right? Yeah. And he's not listed as a requirement here, but you still want Xanadu Blood because it's part of the main lineup for Executor. So get him too. So going over to side farms, Geos. Geos again, used for ships. Really, you will want to start farming these guys up as soon as you unlock them. Geobrood Alphas in the Cantina. A lot of these guys are in the Cantina store. I'm not going to go over, otherwise it will take forever. I'm going to kind of rush through this now. But yeah, these guys, not the hardest thing to get. You can really just take them to Gear 12. That's what I'm going to be doing in a bit. I'll be taking these guys to Gear 12. They're going to be used for Watt. They'll help you get into better guilds just having them at Gear 12. Because Watt. A lot of guilds are searching for Watt. And then, Executor requirements. We got the Piet, Darth Vader, TIE Fighter pilot, and Beskar Armor Mandalorian, who is needed for Razor Crest. And to unlock him, you see some familiar faces: Mando, Grief, IG-11, Queel, Cara Dune. None of these guys, I think she could really be 1 gear less and she doesn't need the Zeta. These guys are all doable at, what was it? I think gear 9. Yeah, gear 8 or 9. Yeah, gear 8. Gear 8. My bad. Gear 8, completely doable with this journey. Super easy. We got the Phoenix, as I said I would talk about later. So Phoenix is a very interesting place right now because just released is this Captain Rex. He doesn't even have a spot yet. Depending on how easy his node is, you will want to be farming Phoenix as early as possible too, with your Imperial Troopers. And really, you can farm all these guys. They're all needed for ships. So, all these guys worth getting. Super strong team right now. Honestly, with Captain Rex, they are the best non-legendary team in the game right now. At least competing for the best. Even better than Imperial Troopers, which is really nice. So, maybe an updated video, or maybe an updated guide with Phoenix as the start. Some more Imperial Troopers. You got Iden. This is a super strong team that takes a lot of characters that really kind of suck elsewhere and just makes them amazing. Like, this is an amazing team. This is on par with the other Imperial Troopers team, which is super nice. If needed be, if you're splitting up the other Imperial Troopers, or it's 3v3, Stark and Range Trooper generally will most likely do better over here on the Iden than Magma Trooper and Snow Trooper. You kind of want Death Trooper and Shore Trooper. Shore Trooper to tank, Death Trooper is the damage. Stark and Range Trooper are just better Magma Troopers than Snow Troopers, basically. Some more notable Empire units would be Emperor Palpatine, which you will just get from either Phoenix or your CLS requirements, or CLS himself if you want to wait that long. Mara Jade, an amazing marquee you can get from a node, pretty early node, I'm pretty sure. Yep, 60 about as early as Piet. You can start farming her as soon as you want. She's amazing. Grand Admiral Thrawn, which you want Phoenix for. I recommend honestly waiting for Captain Rex to be, yeah, honestly waiting for Captain Rex to be farmable before you go for Thrawn. He's a good unit and is needed for a GL, but like, it's not worth like worrying too hard about him. I don't use him that much right now, but early game he's really nice just because of his fracture mechanic. Another good Imperial Trooper that you can slot in instead of Stark would be Moff Gideon. If you want to bring Stark over to the Iden team, Moff Gideon is also just a great plug and play character. The way he strips turn meter, and just all around great. Some more notable characters, specifically Sith, would be another raid unit, Traya. She's super nice, one of the strongest legendaries in the game right now. With technically this is her 5v5 team, but you really only need these 3, or you would just need these other 2. Traya is always a must. Traya is always a must. Savage Opress is another super good character who can honestly be on his own team. Talon's just a great lifter unit for the Sith, and Sion and Nihilus kind of go with Traya if you know the Sith Triumvirate lore and all that. So really these 3 to work, and then these 2 can be on them by themselves, but great team when put all together. Some more notable rebels that kind of like tie either nicely or just nice to have with what you've already built would be Admiral Akbar. You kind of want him for that home 1 ship for to get Chimera, and you're kind of want his ship anyways, because it is needed for one of the challenges, and so it's just worth picking him up. His team kind of sucks, but you can use him, Biggs, Wedge, and then any other leftover rebels you may have, like Leia. Leia works out really nicely. I think Old Ben does too, but not really that good of a team. Kind of like leftovers if you need to clear like a solo person out. But yeah, Biggs, just because he goes well with his ship with Wedge, and like I said, it's a nice little fleet to have added for yourself. This is probably one that you could honestly just drop entirely, but I thought it was worth mentioning. Ahsoka Tano Fulcrum. She's a super strong Territory Wars Omicron character. She solos a bunch in that game mode, but she's kind of useless everywhere else. If you really like Ahsoka Tano, you can pick her up, but she's probably the least valuable out of everyone I've listed. Son of Staros, honestly amazing. By the time most people are watching this video, she will be accelerated. Or by the time most people see this video later in the road, later in time, or anything like that, she's most likely going to be accelerated, like soon. And then she's already on Cantina, or she's even on Cantina. So like, you get her super fast. She doesn't have the Rebel tag, but she leads Rebel Scoundrels, which are going to be your leftover Jedi Knight Luke farm, Captain Han Solo, Rebel Officer Leia Organa, Lando Calrissian, Stormtrooper Han is amazing on her. That's why he's so you can honestly, if you have issues in this, gear him up the most. If you have issues in this Commander Luke Skywalker Journey Guide, because he's an amazing tank on her team. And then you also have Cara Dune. Cara Dune's amazing with her, so she just kind of pulls a lot of your leftover people who kind of suck, that are just there for requirements. She kind of pulls them all together, makes them a top tier team. Dash Rendar, really here for 3v3, and he kind of does the same thing as Son of Staros. For 3v3, you can take your Commander Luke Skywalker leftovers, who, not here, your Commander Luke Skywalker leftovers, Han Solo, Chewbacca, since in 3v3, CLS likes C-3PO and 3PO and Chewie. He likes those two in 3v3, so Chewie and Han usually have nowhere to go. I like using them with Dash Rendar, super solid team. And again, you can take your other scoundrels. You can take Beskar Mandalorian if you're doing Executor with Cara Dune, or you can take IG-11 and Queel with Beskar and on the Dash Rendar team. And yeah, you can use a lot of scoundrels on them, which is just overall nice. Just overall nice. And that's about the end of this farming guide. If you guys want, if you guys really like it, I'll make a separate account where I follow this farming guide, so I can show you how nice it works and how everything flows together and all that, and how this game is just about patience, man. You don't have to worry about too much. I'd recommend, I'm making another video on what I would do, or what you really should be doing daily, and like how to get the most out of XP, and like how your daily farm should look at maybe like when you start off, who you should be focusing on first, and then once you unlock some more stuff as you gain levels, what you can then start focusing on, that sort of stuff. I'll be making a video like that soon. And then I'm also going to be making a video where I go through and I'm going to be gearing up my my Imperial Troopers team. I'm going to be making a video on how easy it is to really gear a lot of these guys up now, especially after the gear changes, and how this will help you just a bunch, and how easy it is to get these guys. And then I'm also going to be going over how to gear up from basically no gear, specifically for my guild, but it can be useful just using heroic Sith Triumvirate Mark 1 currency just to gear someone up, and a little bit of campaign energy for the early levels, but gear them all the way up to either gear 11 or gear 12, which would be super nice, as you can see. So I've been doing for these guys. Anyways, thank you guys for watching. Like, subscribe, and leave a comment below if you really liked it. Like I said, if you want to join my guild, links will be below. So nice having you here, guys. Commander Revan out.